We want to welcome everybody to the Mom and Dad Talks. Our favorite two people are Mom and Dad, and well, we're going to do a special edition because we're going to be seeing each other in Thanksgiving. Well, our favorite subject, Coach Sanders, and like I said, we like him because number one, he's a Christian, he's a man of God, man of faith. The other thing too we like about him because he actually teaches young men to be men. He practices and he wants to return and make make this place a better place. He's not selfish with his gift. And we got a lot of coaches out there that are selfish and they're thinking about you being selfish. And that's not part of the Christian walk. Just want to point that out. Selfishness is not a part of the Christian walk. You have to be selfless. Carlin, we know he's been getting hammered quite a bit. A lot of people rooting for him to fail this year. And he's done a remarkable job. A remarkable job of turning around a historically like a decades old bad program and turn them into a contender. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, you said it's pretty simple. As of this recording, he's now 8-3, right? And their last game is going to be at home against Oklahoma State, which I think is the last place team in the Big 12. I fully expect them to win that one going away because it'll be Shadur's last game at Folsom, Shiloh's last game, Travis Hunter. There's no way they're going to. In fact, I anticipate a boat race of Oklahoma State next week. That being said, I haven't penciled in any wins because you never know. But let's pencil that one in.
Okay,
9-3 in his second year at the FBS level. One of the things that I have that I do in my personal life is I just state the facts, right? And I state the facts. I usually try to give some context without my opinion, right? That doesn't mean I'm heavily opinionated. I'll give an opinion later. But sometimes when you deal with outstanding people or overachievers or high achievers, when all you do is state the facts, it sounds like you're bragging. It sounds like you're making it up, right? And that's what they can't take about Deion. For instance, and I'll be very careful how I say this. I don't want people to target my daughter, but when I talk about my daughter who's in 8th grade, right, and I say top 1% reading in the nation, National Junior Honor Society, principals list every year since she's been available to be on principals list, MVP of the postseason tournament last year, bringing the first ever basketball championship to her school in 116 years. If I go to, I'm just stating facts. Before I even get to anything else. And then people, if I say that, it sounds like I'm bragging.
Yeah.
Sounds like so when we say Deion Sanders, every single year since he's been a coach, hard stop.
Yeah.
Offensive coordinator for Trinity Christian School in Texas. Football crazy Texas. 3 years in a row, state champions. Okay, 3 years in a row. Then goes to the SWAC, goes to Jackson State, 27-6 as a coach, head coach. With his final season being 13-0 in the regular season, right? Back-to-back SWAC championships. Goes to Colorado, Power 5 school, FBS, 4-8, right? But in context, they were 1-11 the season before, losing by 30 points a game. 30 points, okay? The next worst team was only losing by 14 points a game. It was a historically bad. Not a single 5-star prospect in the state of Colorado. Only 2 kids committed to come the next year, right? Comes in, goes 4-8. 6 of those 8 games were by less than 7-point losses, right? So, the haters will always cry, oh, he was 4-8. Did you look at what that 4-8 was? Oh, and by the way, brought the first ever number 1 overall rated player in the nation out of high school to an HBCU in Travis Hunter, right?
Can we just roll it back just for a second? The program he left, Jackson State, winners.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're winners. He left them the template, and the coach, and he handpicked the coach.
Yeah.
and they're winning. They're winning right now. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So let me finish what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. I'll let you finish what you're
Because
saying.
it sounds like I'm bragging.
Yeah.
Right now, you get to this year,
Mm-hmm.
predicted to finish 11th.
Mm-hmm.
That's next to last place in the Big 12 conference.
In a new conference.
Well,
Brand new
they're
conference.
moving to a new conference. Yeah,
Right.
from the Pac-12. Which way? Back up. They went 4-8. They went 1-7, 1-8 in the Pac-12, which, by the way, produced five NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Including the number one overall, Caleb Williams. Right.
Right.
That's who they went. That's who they were only losing by less than 7 points to last year in his first year.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you come to this year, predicted to finish 11th in a new conference, right? Currently, still after last night, tied for first.
Yeah.
Or tied for second. I'm sorry, tied for second in the Big 12 conference. Mathematically, they're still in it. Realistically, they may be out of the Big 12 race. But if Arizona beats Arizona State next week, Colorado's back in the conversation. This is 1.5 years removed from a program that was 1-11. Now, throw in this last piece.
Yeah.
Talking about recruiting. Oh, he can't recruit. He can't hold players. He doesn't develop players. Yeah, they just got the number 2 ranked quarterback in this class.
Can we wind that a little bit? Because let's stay right there. You're only that good because of your sons and Travis Hunter.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Just rewind that. That's the only reason why you're good. So you mean to tell us the rest of the team is not that good? You know, you're just an average coach. Come on, Bo. Go ahead.
And most of college recruiting is based upon recruiting.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, we forgot. Last year, got the number 1 player in his position in the country, Jordan Seaton, offensive lineman. Oh, he can't get offensive lineman. Got the number 1 in the country. Started him as a freshman. He made All-American freshman team. Okay. By the way, also too, highest GPA ever for Colorado football overall class. Oh, by the way, back at Jackson State, highest GPA ever. So
let's step on that for a second. I saw a clip with Deion Sanders saying to his team, 90% of y'all ain't gonna make the NFL.
95. He said 95.
Get to studying. I mean, what kind of coach would rather you be a man than they're? You know what I'm saying? You don't see a lot of coaches willing to develop young men. They'll just say, "Hey, I got to win. Forget about you. That's your call." I mean, Deion Sanders is redefining the coach again.
Yeah.
In the programs, you got guys just taking it. I mean, let's just be real. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I also wanted to say this about last year. He had no NIL money.
Yeah.
They didn't even have the money to pay his contract. And it generated $118 million. Sold out every game at home. Oh, by the way, sold out every game on the road.
Yeah.
And was the 3rd most watched college football team behind Ohio State and Alabama. Colorado was the 3rd.
Hold up.
They were running ads. They were running ads. Of Deion endorsing products during Ohio State, Michigan last year. Okay, what coach do you see? Okay, so we get to this year, and they're not done. They're not completely finished. They're going to a bowl. They're not only bowl eligible. They're going to go to a major bowl. There is an outside chance. The fact that we're even criticizing that they did not make the CFP, like who thought that they were predicted to finish 11th, and mathematically they're still in it. To try and get CFP berth. Crazier things have happened this year. You know what I'm saying?
But I guarantee you this: whatever bowl game they're playing is going to. You know,
I might be going.
We love Michigan. I love Shamor Moore. What he's doing. He's growing into a coach at the Division I level. You got to be patient with him. He's a very good coach. Okay, wouldn't it be something if Michigan played Colorado?
I don't think Michigan. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Michigan can get to that bowl.
Ooh, Carlin.
Whatever bowl it is, the Cotton Bowl or whatever it is. Think about it.
Yeah.
Colorado's going to finish 9-3 and at least second in the Big 12. Okay, that's gonna get a major bowl. I don't think Michigan's going to. I mean, we got 5 losses, man. We're bowl everywhere.
But Carl, let's just. If you're just looking on the money, I'm just going to speak it into existence. Michigan playing Colorado.
Yeah,
the former national champion playing Colorado in a bowl game, dude. You can't tell me that they would not have a whole bunch of money on that one just
So
because I hate Ohio State.
So because I love Michigan, I would like to see it, but I wouldn't love to see it because I'm a root for Colorado and Deion and our nephew, BJ Green.
Yes.
All right, the son
shout
of
out to the Green family.
Shout out to the Green family. Be Greasy.
Yeah.
Byron Green Sr.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see them play an SEC team because I would like for them to shut up the haters. Oh, they haven't beaten anybody. Whatever, even the Kansas loss last night. What people understand is Kansas just did something that no other team has done in college football history. As a sub 500 team, they beat 3 ranked teams 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
What's the casual fan doesn't know that Kansas was actually picked to win the Big 12 at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to where they fell apart, I don't know what happened. But they have a quarterback. They've got 2 first rounders and
they got a great running back.
They got not just the great. Last week before Colorado, he broke the all-time rushing record for Kansas. So he's the all-time rushing leader in Kansas history. They're just coming together at the end of the season. Yeah. That's the only reason. And they're probably going to end up bowl eligible after an 0-5 start. So they're a really good team. But lower level SEC, I would love to see Colorado play. Let's say, honestly, I think Ole Miss is out of it. After their loss yesterday, I would love to see them play Ole Miss.
Yeah,
and let it be a shootout. Let it be a shootout between Jackson Dart and Shedeur Sanders.
I mean, let's just be real here. The SEC just has the talent, not always the coaching. You can see that with Alabama. And I hate to say this, but think about it. Their quarterbacks win. You can say Tua is their best that they've had. And they've won all this time. It's we got a great quarterback, but they don't translate to the pros. You could almost say Jalen Hurts is, but Jalen Hurts had to learn how to play quarterback at Oklahoma.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times what people don't understand is you're coaching guys that nobody else wants. And Deion Sanders does something that's scaring right now. He's training them to be made. He's recruiting players, and I'll turn you into that NIL deal. Something that a lot of coaches can't do. They got to give you the money first,
right,
and then hope it works out.
And now he's got $20 million. They just reported that Rick George, the AD, was able to go out and get $20 million in NIL money. Now they can do both. Now they can say, "Come here and build your brand because we're the third most watched college program in America." Right? You can go get that bag on your own.
Yeah.
And they've also got somebody like, we need to restock our 5 stars. Here again, think about what we're saying.
Yeah,
5 stars. Yeah, at Colorado, right? It's crazy to think about what the guy has done. Now, I will say this: every coach plays Deion Sanders is smart. He's playing chess, not checkers. I think Colorado's a perfect fit for him because if you know Deion, you know he's a country boy. Don't get caught up in the sunglasses, the chains, the rap music, whatever. He loves fishing. He loves to ride around on tractors. He grew up in Fort Myers. He loves it in Colorado, right? And it's good on his health because think about it. The people forget the man was fighting for his life with blood clots. The high elevation is actually good for him, right? So from a life standpoint, it fits. But I will say this: Deion may not ever be hotter as a coaching prospect than he is right now.
I think he can get hotter, Carlin.
From a business standpoint, even if his team has success next year and gets, let's say, more wins, let's say Julian Lewis comes in, they got all these 4- and 5-star recruits. They still got guys coming back from this team, right? Let's say they come in and they contend for the Big 12 again next year, and let's say they get into the CFP. I don't think he'll be a hotter coaching prospect than he is right at this moment. I think if he ever wanted to go to the NFL, there's so many jobs: the Jets, the Giants, the Raiders, the Cowboys, maybe even. There may be 1 or 2 other ones out there, Jacksonville, that may be looking for a change. I don't know that he'll have this high of interest from NFL teams. And that's the only thing that scares me because every college coach that says, "I'm here for a long haul, blah, 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 blah," the very next thing you hear is, "I never said I would stay here forever."
Hey, don't talk about Jim Harbaugh, man. Jim Harbaugh got ran out of the NCAA, okay?
Well, Jim probably, listen, I'm a big Jim Harbaugh guy.
That's my man,
he
right?
He probably made the best move because the NCAA was closing in, and let's take the win. Let's take the win, and
Jim
Thank
Harbaugh's not a
you, Jim.
stupid dude. He knew it was time
Nah.
to go. Like, well, you know what? I was at Stanford. I was winning at Stanford.
I'd rather run out than to be run out.
Y'all had questions about me at Stanford. So I went to the NFL, showed you I could do it and win. All I do is win. Come back.
Yeah.
Michigan. He starts winning. All of a sudden, the circulation comes around like Ohio State wasn't doing the same stuff. Okay, it's not about Jim Harbaugh, but I
think, Todd, you bring up a great point. You bring up a great point. If you can coach, you can coach.
Yeah.
The proof is in the pudding. I'm going to say this again. This is not a case for Deion Sanders. I'm going to just state the facts.
Yeah.
Every year since he has been a coach, whether an offensive coordinator or a head coach, since high school, his teams have improved by win total every single year. If I gave that resume about, I'm just going to say it, about a white coach, right? State champion, 3 years in a row. Teams won more games every single year. Went to the FBS level, let's say North Dakota State or wherever, right? And his teams won back-to-back conference titles and won more games every year that he coached. Then go to the FBS level, come out with a brand new team, take over a program. It was 1-11, nobody in the cupboard, no recruits in the cupboard, losing by 30 points a game, no money, right? Took over the worst program in America, went 4-8, then cut the loss total down by 23 points a game. By 23 points a game, and had a chance to be 6-6 with some very close games. Then the next year goes 9-3, contending for a Big 12 championship, and was in the talk for CFP. Oh, by the way, will likely have the Heisman Trophy winner, and produced another that should have been there among the last four.
And the top picks in the NFL.
And top picks in the NFL, and recruited 5 stars at multiple positions to come to Boulder, Colorado, or wherever that was. If I told you that was white coach, you'd say that's the hottest coaching prospect in America. That's what you would say. Yeah. But because it's Deion, and we don't like the way that he preaches, we don't like the way the sunglasses, we don't like the dancing, must be the money. We don't like, because we don't like that, because we don't like his blackness, right? Well, we don't like the fact that somebody's going to tell you that they're good. And there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. Oh, we like to, be humble, whatever. Man, please. Larry Bird wasn't humble. Tom Brady wasn't humble. I have a friend that played in the NFL. Yeah. And he told me, he played against Tom Brady. He said, there was literally one play where Tom Brady was under center, and he was like, blue 180, blue 180. I'm Tom Brady, and you're not. Right. I said, did he really say that? He was like, dude, I promise you, he said it. And walking off the field, he was just like, hey, man, you're out here for cardio. I'm out here padding my Hall of Fame numbers. Like, the greatest of the greats are very, very confident, almost even cocky. So if you wanted to say that about Deion, it's fine. But what you cannot deny is his credentials. Yeah. You'll never be able to do that. And he's telling you, he tells them in the press conferences, if I do what I do, there's nothing you can do about it. The question is, if your hate for me spills over onto my kids, that says more about you than it does about me.
And you know, let's get on another subject. The other reason why I have you on the thing, your Tennessee State coach finally learned how to coach, Eddie George, turning the program around. Okay, all right. I know, you know what I'm saying, and I know a lot of guys. You know, Deion. If you want, you know, if you want a black guy to be a savior for your stuff all the time, there are a lot of guys that can save, but you got to give them time to grow and develop. Okay. Ray Lewis,
our guy at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
All he needed was a year. Isn't James Franklin ranked number 4 with Penn State? You know what I mean? There's plenty of good black head coaches out there, but you got to give him time
and a fair opportunity. See, a lot of times when a black coach is given something, it's always the worst. Even with Deion Sanders' case, everything he was given was the worst. Jackson State, the worst. Colorado, the worst. I mean, think about it. He didn't get, Florida State. He didn't even get LSU. He was in the running for that. Now they're saying the fan base are looking at their ADs and say, why were we that stupid not to pick him? It's the same reason why Patrick Mahomes was passed over. Hate to tell people that, but that's just the truth. He didn't look the part. You know,
He didn't
and the
have the
thing about it is,
complexion from
Andy
the
Reid wanted
protection.
to win. Andy
But
Reid wanted to win. He said, "That's my dude right there." He was smart enough. No, we getting him. We ain't letting
but
him go.
Andy Reid has a history. Who did
Yeah,
he have in Philadelphia? Donovan McNabb, NFC champions. You know what I'm saying? Andy Reid don't care. Andy Reid want to win. But let me say this, and I don't want to come out so calling two activists for the two of us.
yeah,
The NFL is about winning.
yeah,
Most franchises just want to win.
yeah,
So that's why you see Lamar Jackson in
yeah.
Baltimore. That's why you see Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you see Patrick Mahomes. That's why the Bears. That's why they picked 2 years old Justin Fields and Caleb Williams. They don't care. Pittsburgh, who my dad, God rest his soul, would always talk about, speaking of Tennessee State,
Yeah,
Jefferson Street Joe Gilliam, who
yeah,
was drafted, and Terry Bradshaw was so afraid of him, he went to the head coach and said, "Don't ever play him, because
yeah.
if you do, I'll never play again."
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, he had his problem with drugs and everything
Yeah,
like that. That franchise has two.
yeah,
Two. Oh, and speaking of Colorado, didn't they have Cordell Stewart back in the day?
yeah, yeah.
Slash,
Let's not bring him up.
your boy Charlie Batch from Detroit. I mean, so kudos to the NFL. They've turned the corner. They really just care about winning. Kyler
Yeah,
Murray, C.J. Stroud,
yeah,
your boy Geno Smith up in Seattle. It's a new day.
yeah.
If you can play, you can play. Now we need to turn the corner. It's like, if you can coach,
Mm-hmm.
you can coach. Deion Sanders can obviously coach. If nothing else, he can build a program, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what you want. You want to be able to build a program, because not everybody can X's and O's that mug. You know what I mean? There's a
No.
lot of moving pieces. He's able to recruit top level coaching talent,
Mm-hmm.
and he's willing to make the hard decisions.
Yeah.
He cleaned house last year. Those guys that he brought in at
Mm-hmm.
defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator, they weren't cutting the mustard.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't cutting the mustard. They couldn't get him over that team should have been at least 6-6 last year.
Mm-hmm.
There were some bad coaching decisions that were made. Deion is smart enough to say, "I brought you in to call the plays.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And you didn't call the right plays. I need you to go." Bringing in Livingston, Pat Shermer, bringing in Warren Sapp, Load Holt, all these guys to coach.
Yeah.
And then he's got Terrell Owens roaming the halls and
Mm-hmm.
Chad Johnson roaming the halls to teach these guys. That's why you're seeing what you're seeing at these
But
skill
more than
positions.
that, Carlin, you got guys in the NFL that want to give back, and you're teaching them how to give back. When I look at what he did with Warren Sapp, the fact is Warren Sapp got his degree and found a purpose. He's changing his life. I don't see a lot of coaches. I see coaches do that, but not on the scale of pretty much everybody you touch, it's been touched by you.
Yeah.
I don't see that a whole lot. You see coaches, maybe one or two guys, maybe, but not the whole entire team, not the whole entire staff. Like, dude, we believe in changing minds. I mean, that is what it's all about. We want to make you men. You may not make it in the NFL, but you're going to be a man when you walk out of here. You're going to have a job when you get out of here.
And the thing is, people don't watch. I get it, because everybody's not a Colorado fan or a Deion Sanders fan or whatever, so they don't watch the video. The thing I love about this experiment, or I should call it an experience now, is that he documents everything. His son videos everything. They put it out. You see the meetings. You see all the stuff that when he scolds his players, when he praises his players, the press conferences, everything. So you can't if you're going to misconstrue what he says or what he is, you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
And so, like he said, I'm not a perfect man. Whatever. But what I will tell you is this: I'm here to develop men.
Yeah.
And so when he's in there and he's talking about 95% of y'all are not going to make it to the NFL, so you need to hit your books, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or when he's in there and he's saying, "Look, we got some behavior reports from y'all, from the professors. Clean it up, or I'm not playing you." Right? I mean, all these are not rumors. It's video out there of him saying it to his team. When that first day when he lined up all the female staff for Colorado, he said to the players, "We have a zero tolerance behavior policy as it pertains to female staff. If any of you violate it, you're gone. I don't care who you are, 4-year starter, whatever." It's like, again, he's not a perfect person or a perfect coach, but you can't keep lying about the man just because you don't like sunglasses and hoodies and you don't like baseball.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. You just feel uncomfortable with a confident black man.
That's it.
That's the only thing you can say, because if you look at his record, it's like I tell people all the time. This dude initially wanted to coach in the NFL, and they told him what it took. He did that. He humbled himself and did that. And he still wasn't eligible. I have nothing wrong. I think the NFL is doing great by allowing women to be coaches in the NFL. However, what is their criteria versus his criteria? You got a lot of other guys who play in the NFL want to be coaches. Are they going to even get a fair shot at being a position coach to try it out? Or, or are you going to be thrown in? I hate to say this. As much as they don't like Eric Bieniemy, I hate to say this. Kansas City Chiefs offense was a whole lot better underneath him.
Yeah. Here's the thing about coaching. It's the last holy grail, right? Because before it was the quarterback position. Oh, they're not smart enough to read defense. Oh, he's athletic, but so and so is cerebral, right? He thinks the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If you ever heard CJ Stroud break down what he sees on a defense and what the hot reads are, your head will spin. Like, oh my
DeMeco Ryans can coach his butt off.
DeMeco Ryans can coach his butt off. So the next holy grail, because you got what? 71% of NFL players are black,
yeah,
but only 14% are head coaches, or is it less than that?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, that's a college. 71% are black players are black in college, or 61%. And less you have 14 coaches out of 134 FBS programs that are black. Deion is one of them. Okay. The next holy grail is because they're not smart enough. That's always we're not smart. Let me tell you that. That's all. That is the next level. Is if we're smart enough to be 71% of the league as players, how in the world do we only have like 12% of the coaches are black? That doesn't make sense. And again, whenever I have this talk about this with Deion Sanders, again, I'm not promoting him as the greatest coach in the world. What I'm saying is anybody who spent 14 years as an NFL analyst is getting paid to break down the game on TV. We forget about that. Yeah. So the 14 years that he played, 2 gold jackets, Hall of Fame, all 75 team, right? Then the 14 years he played as a player, the 9 Pro Bowls, 2 Super Bowl rings. He played for most of the storied franchise. Cowboys, 49ers, the Redskins at the time, the Commanders now, right? The Falcons, the Ravens, which were the Baltimore Colts originally. He played for the most storied franchises. Never mind that he played for legendary franchises too, with the Yankees and the Braves and the Reds, right? And batted .437 in a World Series, had 8 hits and 4 runs. Take all that and put it to the side. The man has spent almost his entire life around football. You don't think he would be able to put together a game plan? Like, you don't think he would be able to understand what the reads are, what the different coverages are, what needs to happen? You don't think he'd be able to?
But what I've learned is people are legends in their own mind. If they want to see what they want to see, doesn't matter if the evidence is in front of them, they will still believe a lie. Because they want to believe something true, because they just really want to believe it. And that's the sad part about reality. It's not really reality. They're just legends in their own mind. So even if you do it, even if they do see it, they still won't believe. And, changing the subject slightly before we get off here, I saw Ray Lewis wanting to be a coach. And you responded something to it that I think he's going to be a great coach, but my whole thing is you got to give him time. This is just, what are your thoughts on Ray Lewis? Because like I said, if they're expecting him to turn and be another Deion Sanders, that's way too much. Look at Eddie George. It took Eddie George a minute.
So you brought up 2 things, and I'm gonna address them very quickly.
Yeah.
I saw Eddie George the other day because he comes into the office where my office is downtown. He comes down there, the Entrepreneur Center, quite often. Eddie George was, in my opinion, always able to coach. At Tennessee State, he had to get the recruiting back up. In college, it's all about the players. What's in the cupboard? Tennessee State is a legendary HBCU. They've put multiple. When you go to Google, just Google it. How many players they put into the NFL? Right? They hadn't had a lot of success recruiting lately. That's the reason they put him there, is because his name in the Nashville community as a Tennessee Titan, one of the most legendary Tennessee Titans, right? Was going to bring players. He finally has the players. That's what it is. He's always been able to coach. Very smart man. When you talk to him, very smart, right? Even though he went to Ohio State. All right, Ray Lewis. I had a response to that. I don't think Ray Lewis. I don't think we should be even mentioning him in the same sentence with Deion Sanders from a coaching standpoint, because of what we just talked about previously. Yeah. Deion Sanders' resume as a coach. We didn't even talk about the Under Armour All-American games where he was head coach for those teams, scout teams, running his own camps. Ray's done a little of that, but he hasn't really coached at the high school level or the FCS level. It's not the same. Yeah. And I want to see black former players get coaching opportunities, but when we quantify it, we got to understand what we're looking at with Deion. We're looking at a man who's earned his way to this point. Period. The numbers add up. The numbers don't lie. He is who he is. With Ray Lewis, he's a great motivator when you hear him speak. I know he knows the game. He knows infinitely more than I will ever know. But there's a whole lot more to this coaching thing than just being smart and being motivating. You have to know how to be a CEO of an organization. And Deion's been a CEO for a long time. I don't know that Ray Lewis has been that. I say, let him cut his teeth, just like your boy Teddy Bridgewater is killing it at the high school level. He will be in college. If they don't offer him a college job next year or the year after that, he's going to get paid as a coach, right? Yes. Ray Lewis needs to cut his teeth and earn his way like Deion has, like Eddie George has, right? Don't just hand it to him like, oh, man, we're going to get the Hall of Fame player or whatever and just give it to him.
And then see the deficiencies, like, oh, he doesn't have this because he didn't have a chance to groom those. Are you going to be patient enough to let him grow into that?
Right.
Which led
and even with Deion, I see coaching like his clock management last year was terrible. It got better this year.
Yes,
because what people don't understand, he's not just talent. Yeah, the man studies the game, studies. All of his play. One of the big things I'm most impressed with when his players talk is like, I put my film in. I've got my film. They all have iPads, and they got this at other places too. So everybody don't trip about that when I say that. But he was required. He's like, I can check if you've been studying your film, right? And he gets on him. And he studied. That's how he became a great shutdown corner. He knew the tendencies of everybody he faced. So he's translated that. So that kind of thing he has developed. And the scary part about this is he's still learning how to coach at a high level.
There's a higher ceiling when to go on.
His ceiling is extremely high, and he's going to be 9-3 in a Power 5 conference without having the recruits that you have at LSU or Florida or Tennessee. It's going to be.
I'm going to put this out there. So if you were a smart owner, just smart. I'm not talking about excellence or whatever. I'm just saying a smart owner. You throw the bucket at him.
No, you
throw the bucket at why he because you get him at a low cost because in 5 years he's going to be a beast.
Jimbo Fisher's getting paid $89 million right now to not coach. Texas A&M said, we'll give you $89 million just to go away. So you got somebody who can bring money, recruits, cachet, and will likely, the trend says, your team will be better next year than they were this year. I line up the Brinks trucks and I say, here you go, Deion. Here's 20 mil. Yeah. Make it happen.
It kind of reminds me of Jim Harbaugh. Everywhere he goes, he wins. So he's a little quirky. Give him the money. Let him do what he does. You're going to win. Okay, leave the man alone, San Francisco. But, last thing, I always talk about my man Chris Carter because, not that I'm a fan of Ohio State, but he deserves an opportunity. I believe he really deserves an opportunity. I don't know if he's ever going to get one, but I'm just going to say
the problem with Chris. Yeah. The problem was Chris. And again, put your hate mail in the chat. The problem with Chris is that because of his personal issues that he had to overcome of his past, they're going to hold a black man more accountable than they will a white man. Steve Sarkisian at Texas. By the way, I love Steve Sarkisian. I want to put that out there. I am a Steve Sarkisian guy, and I thank God that he's got his demons under control. I thank the Lord that he has been able to overcome, and it's a daily grind when you have addictions and things like that. But the man can coach, and the man does also care about his players. Steve Sarkisian's white, okay, so there's not about that, but he's not held to the same standard that Chris Carter is. Yeah, and the giving Chris Carter a chance the same chance that Sarkeesian got or has gotten is not going to be on the same playing field. We're just not that kind of America right now. We're getting. Hopefully we'll get there. I think we've taken a step backward, but we'll leave that alone. But I do believe that I do believe in the good in people. I hope that Chris Carter. You keep beating that drum, Todd. I'm not as hopeful, but I hope that he does get a chance one day to be a head coach. I just don't think he's got the complexion for the protection.
All I can say is this: if you like Mom and Dad Talks, whether you like us or not, please share us and like us and stuff like that. But I'm going
to not like us.
Yeah,
but hit the like button.
Yes, I'm going to preach Chris Carter because I'm praying that he gets an opportunity because he is a man of faith. He has turned it around. He has done all the stuff you're supposed to do. He just hasn't gotten a fair shot for whatever reason. But like I said, we named 2 coaches already, whether it's quirkiness or his past, they got an opportunity.
And let's be clear. I want to make this very clear. This isn't just a man crush or a heart issue. Chris Carter is one of the greatest football minds that we have.
Yes. So with that, we're going to leave on that note. So like guys, keep praying. We're going to keep pushing. Put your like, comments down, and share us. Till next time, we'll see you on Mom and Dad Talk.